here I am, out on the Triumph Thruxton 1200 RS. Absolutely marvellous. Thoroughly enjoying the sound of these excellent pipes. Yeah. Hitchcox motorcycles. Absolutely wonderful. I liked them so much, I thought, I want to come down and see how they're made. So that's where I've come. Yeah. Absolutely wonderful. Out near Brackley, not far from Silverstone, of course. And this is a workshop that inside all the magic happens. So what I'll do is I'm going to have a word with Tom. We're going to have a little chat about the pipes and the process and everything, and have a look at some chaps making some. Yeah. Right, here I am at Hitchcox Motorcycles. Is this Buckinghamshire or Northamptonshire or Oxfordshire?
Northamptonshire postcode this is.
Northamptonshire. Because we're right on the border of all of those, aren't we?
We are, yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. Silverstone down the road.
Yeah, it's about 30 minutes down the road, yeah.
Obviously well known by everybody.
Yeah, Hart Motorsport.
Yeah. Have you spent much time there?
I've been to it a number of times. Like in previous employments, there's teams down there and stuff that I've visited and stuff. Been to the Grand Prix. Been fortunate to go to that. So I've been there a number of times.
Yeah. Mad about bikes.
Yeah. Certainly the what we've been involved in, the Triumph side of things. Kind of grew up being involved in bikes, riding them. My dad, my uncle, all rode bikes, so I've been around it my whole life. So I've grown around it. Yeah.
Custom made. Do you still do the custom made for individuals if they come along and throw a design at you and say, "Can you make us that?"
We have been doing it up until the beginning of the year. We've stopped it for the time being, just because we've been so busy with the ready to ride stuff. We just decided that we were going to concentrate on fulfilling orders for the time being. There will be some scenarios that, the odd project that comes up which makes sense for us to do, but for the time being we have said that we're just going to put it on hold while we concentrate on the ready to ride stuff for the Triumph.
There's a lot of people out there like me. I'd been looking for the Thruxton that I've got. The standard sound of a Triumph it's all right, isn't it? It's not bad as a stock bike.
Yeah.
But most people want more because Triumph have lost that authentic sound because of Euro 5, Euro 5 Plus, Euro 4.
Yeah.
All of those sort of kill it a little bit, don't they?
Yeah. The constraints within the new emissions, obviously I think the Euro 4 or 5 there's certainly the one substrate underneath the frame rails. I think a lot of the 5.5 Plus is having a second substrate in the silencers, so it's obviously restricting a lot of the sound. The weight that is producing as well is massive.
Yeah. Well, that's what I noticed from the stock exhaust to the Hitchcox exhaust.
Yeah.
It's literally half. I mean, we didn't weigh them, but just having one in each hand,
it's massive.
It is huge.
Yeah.
And that's obviously a saving, fuel economy and everything. So I don't know how they offset that with Euro emissions and everything. What do you concentrate on when you're designing a cam? What is the focus? Is it performance? Is it sound? Or is it a balance between the two?
I think it's a bit of a balance, really. So obviously I think what a lot of people want from an aftermarket exhaust, depending on the bike, obviously, if it's a performance bike, you probably concentrate on performance more so. The modern classic stuff, all our slip-ons, generally speaking, the performance that they give, with the saving of the weight and it being more free-flowing, there's a performance gain straight away. So you go into like the aesthetics of the systems that we're producing. I think the design sort of lends itself to the bike. So what we've got in what we call the slip-ons, they're quite sleek. They're a little bit smaller. They're a little bit stubbier. And the biggest thing that we've kind of concentrated on is, as compared to the stock are quite long. They cover up a lot of the back wheel and the rear shock. And I think what people like about them is the fact that it exposes the lines of the bike, and it shows more of the bike while also improving the sound as well. It's understanding what creates a sound, and whether that be length, diameters of internals, certain restrictions or lack of restrictions, all creates its own unique sound. So there's loads of variations you can play around with to come to a sound, different tone, depth, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Is it a science?
Is it science?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Do you have a? You came from fabricating for Formula One.
Yeah. So it was all exhaust work. So it'd be. I worked for a company that a lot of the teams subcontracted the work out to. Yeah. So we'd be involved in whatever it may be. McLaren, Mercedes, Aston Martin, Force India, years gone by, Toro Rosso, that sort of thing. But it was all very different to what we're doing here. There's obviously a lot of similarities. We tried to the quality and the length of what we go to in terms of producing stuff. We tried to bring that into what we're doing here. But a lot of the race stuff is just straight through, so you're not worried about sound. Performance, we wouldn't be responsible for performance. That was all done by the team. So it's purely the main goal is it's got to get around a racetrack. Yeah. So there's parallels in what we're doing here, but we're trying to create, the way we create a sound in here is we prototype a system, we run it, and we take a view on it. Does it need to be? Is it too quiet? Is it too loud? In a lot of variations, it's not difficult to create sound. Trying to create A, the right sound, and B, that's something that isn't too loud.
Obnoxious.
Yeah. And it's not, I don't want this company to be known for, I'd rather we were known for, the sound that we create rather than noise.
Than the level.
Yeah. There's obviously, we do systems that are, some are louder than others. And it has its place. There's a lot of people that enjoy drag systems, for instance, where they're not 100% straight through. They have what we call a lubricore in there, which helps slow the gases down, which in turn slows it reduces the sound a little bit. But I'd much rather us, in
the quality of the sound.
As we go forward, I want us to be creating, systems not only look great, people enjoy, but they're not, for the people that want that, they're not, the sound is enjoyable.
Yeah.
And that's also subjective, right? So there's, what one person thinks, that's brilliant. The next person's it's a bit loud for me.
Well, I've got to say, for me on the Thruxton, the pipe, I've ridden over here today. It's just over 100 miles, something like that for me. And it's a perfect level. I can hear it, and then when I got on most of it was back roads that I came on because I picked my route. And it's just wonderful on the roll off, on the acceleration, and yet when you get on the motorway, it's not droning.
Yeah.
So, you have a loud pipe. It's great fun when you're out with your mates ragging around the back roads, but as soon as you have to do a long stint on a motorway, it just gets on your nerves.
Yeah, I fully understand it, and it's, I guess it comes down to what that person is riding that bike for. If you're doing long journeys, then you don't want to be doing it on something that is straight through. If you've got somebody that is, their bike is, they're cruising around town a little bit, it's, you're kind of using the bike for a different reason to the person doing journeys on it. But what we've tried to do in sort of people being able to personalise the sound is we've got the dB killers that are easily removable in the end.
Yeah.
So for those that are happy with the sound, with the dBs in, great. If they want it a little bit louder, they can take the dBs out. So it's, you know, you can kind of create.
Well, that's my next video. Is that?
Oh, okay, nice.
Removing
segue
those.
into it.
So what's next for Hitchcox? How do you keep the handmade type craftsman feel and quality and continue to grow?
Yeah. Well, it's a good question, and it's one that we're trying to keep on top of. Year on year, we've grown pretty well. Our popularity within the modern classic range is become quite strong in the last sort of couple of years. So it's a battle to obviously maintain orders. We have a reasonable lead time while also not being it's not ridiculous in my view. But I think the most important thing is the quality remains at the top of what we can achieve. So that's always been paramount to us. It's a battle, and obviously seasonality wise, everybody gets their bikes out in sort of February, March, and orders just go through the roof. So kind of challenging that is a challenge, but it's one that we're trying to embrace and move forward with.
Well, I hope it all works out for you. It's been great coming and seeing everybody and seeing how, or at least some of the process in making them. Obviously, there's a lot more the design, and there's a lot of things that you can't just recreate. Yeah. The polishing area, I don't want to go in there. It looks dirty, smelly, and dangerous. Thanks for letting me come and see it. Thanks for the exhausts.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming down. Appreciate it.